So hey guys, welcome to this part 6. We are looking at some more questions today. If you have not yet subscribed to so this channel is dedicated to help you clear Azure, AWS Cloud, Google Cloud, and Power BI certifications. So in this question, you have an Azure SQL database, which we all know that it is a fully managed SQL database. Fully managed means Azure manages for you. Okay, and it is a PaaS database engine, that is platform as a service. So when we say it is self-managed or fully managed by Azure, that means uh, these tasks you see here, these are handled by Azure. You will not need an administrator to perform upgrades, do the patching, and so on. So here we see there are three environments, one for dev, one for UAT, and one for prod. It's kind of a typical Power BI implementation we do in the industry. We have multiple environments. Like in some of the projects where I worked, we also had a pre-prod and a performance test environment. But here they have three environments, and then they say that you build a single PBIX file. So it is a Power BI Exchange file, and it saves Power BI reports and data models. That is what a PBIX file would contain. So they say that data must be consumed from the database that corresponds to each stage of development lifecycle. The pipelines, like deployment pipelines, must not be used, and you should minimize the administrative effort. So you have to choose here the create, how many parameters would you use here, and then what would be the parameter type. See, in this case we want to keep it as simple as possible, so I would go with one parameter, because you know you reduce the complexity. Why? Because the question says that I should minimize the administration effort. That is point one. And data should be consumed at each stage. So I would want to keep it simple and less complex. And then if I got a choice of choosing a parameter type, I would use text, because it allows free-form text to be typed. Uh, and it also gives me an opportunity to use a variety of descriptions and text here, because at this stage I cannot use true false, because I am not very sure I would have a boolean parameter. I could not restrict myself to use decimal numbers, because I don't know whether I have a very hardcore confined requirement for leveraging only numbers. So I'm keeping it flexible. I would use a text and keep it flexible. So these two would be our final answers. So this next question is an interesting one, a very simple one. They are trying to create dimensions. In the data warehouse world and the BI world, you need to be cognizant of the fact that in a star schema, you might have a fact, F for fact, and then you might have dimension tables. These are obviously there, and then the fact is linked to the dimension. Okay, so what is dimension tables? These are small tables. Consider them as lookup tables. You can have dimension tables for time, for country, maybe for products, and so on, based on your requirements. In this case, the question clearly says that I want a list of unique countries. I'm not looking for cities. I'm not looking for any other state or zip codes. I'm looking for unique countries. And it tells me to find out or choose two correct answers here, what steps would I take? Would I delete the country column? Certainly not. I would be very confined to meeting the requirements. The requirement is making use of countries field, and how illogical it would be if I delete the country column. It does not meet my requirement. B says, hey guys, let's remove duplicates from the table. Yeah, so let can we be more specific? This table, if you say it also has city, country, and I'm looking for unique countries. You see this here, I'm looking for unique countries. Then I would want to remove duplicates from the country column and may not be from the entire table. I would want my answer to be very specific. C says, hey guys, let's remove duplicates from the city column. First of all, we are not even worried about city column. We are only worried about the country column. So here are our two answers. First, we would delete the city column because it is a noise. Okay, we are looking for actual information. The actual information is related to country column. We do not need city column. And second is remove duplicates from the country column. Because why? Because the question says, guys, please give me unique countries, don't give me duplicates. If that is a scenario, I need to remove duplicates from the country column. So this is my final answer. I have this next question. It looks a bit confusing, okay, but let me clear the clouds here. You attempt to use Power Query editors and you are creating a custom column. What do you mean by custom column? See, there may be tables and fields which are available for you. You can just drag drop without performing any further calculation on top of it. Or you might have the luxury to create a custom column based on your requirements, just because the database guys uh, maybe did not do that great of a job, or they didn't create that sort of a column because it was going to create a performance bottleneck during the ETL loads. So that has mandated you to create a custom column. Custom column means I can create a column, I can use two different columns. Something can be as simple as I try to concatenate uh, employee number and employee name to create a custom column. So that can be a custom column. So they are creating a custom column here. But as life goes, nothing works the first time. Nature, the way it is set, it will test your patience. So here also you get errors and you get this error. If you look at the error, it is pretty obvious here. It's saying that I cannot work with two different kinds of data types. So it is pretty obvious we are trying to fit something using a text and a number, like an apple and an orange, which does not gel well together. So when it says what is the cause of error, the cause of error is definitely mismatched data types. It is so common sense. It is right here. It upfront gives you the answer. I'm using a text, I'm using a number, I'm having a data mismatch, column type mismatch, a data type mismatch. So this is my obvious answer. And then it is trying to ask you what should be the desired outcome of this column, like what is it trying to produce. So if I try to look at the operator is ampersand. That means it is trying to concatenate what? It is trying to concatenate a with the number 1. So that means it is trying to produce an output a1. So the output here would be a1 and not a ampersand 1 or 1a. That would be incorrect. So these two would be our final answers. If you did not get an opportunity to subscribe, do so and onboard your cloud certification journey. This channel is dedicated to help you clear Azure Cloud, AWS Cloud, Google Cloud certifications, and Power BI just happens to be a part of Azure. Stay tuned, stay focused. This brings us to the end of part 6. By the way, there are some parts in the paid zone. You need to become a cloud kernel or a cloud ninja member. You can join and become that member by paying a very small amount and enjoy the membership, enjoy the learning. The paid content is very important as well to help you clear the certifications. There are so many questions which are in the paid group. See you in the next part.